Conference women's basketball action from inside the Walker Convocation Center. Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Woods. This is West Virginia State University women's basketball on Mountain East Conference action today. It's the Yellowjackets and the Fighting Falcons of Fairmont State. West Virginia State enters 8-12, 5-9 under first-year head coach Whitney Bays. On the other side, Fairmont State is near the top of the Mountain East Conference standing, 16-4 overall on the year and 10-3 in the MEC. Stephanie Anderson in her 7th season as the head coach of these Fighting Falcons. West Virginia State coming off of a victory on Wednesday. That was on the road at Frostburg State. A great comeback down the stretch for the Yellowjackets, who trailed by as much as 7 in that third quarter. The final 11 and a half minutes, all West Virginia State. The Yellowjackets close on a 24-4 run and will look to see about continuing that momentum today against one of the top teams in the Mountain East Conference. This Fairmont State team is without last year's Mountain East Conference Player of the Year, but that has not affected the Fighting Falcons very much. Leslie Huffman has been out since December the 6th. She is done for the year. But Fairmont State still 16-4 in their first 20 games, 10-3 in the Mountain East Conference. You look at the MEC standings now coming down the stretch in the final month of the season. Fairmont is a game and a half behind Glenville State for first place in the league at 10-3 in the conference. Glenville State leads the way at 12-2. Fairmont State, that is tied with West Virginia Wesleyan for second place, both 10-3 in the league. The University of Charleston is half a game behind at 10-4. This West Virginia State team, as it stands right now, holds sole possession of 8th place in the league, 5-9, one game behind the Frostburg State team. They defeated back on Wednesday, one game ahead of West Liberty. So a lot still to be played for here in the final few weeks of the season in Mountain East Conference women's basketball action. Of course, this is the first half of a doubleheader here on 107.3 The Beat, as West Virginia State's men's basketball team will also take on Fairmont State a little bit later this afternoon. Again, that's dependent on when this one wraps up, but tentatively scheduled for a 4 o'clock tip-off. It'll be here on 107.3 The Beat as well. And we're excited to bring you the action as West Virginia State's men endeavor to upset a top 15 ranked team in the nation. But let's talk about this Fairmont State women's basketball team. As I said, Leslie Huffman out for the year, the senior from Marietta, Ohio, last year's Mountain East Conference Female Athlete of the Year, the Women's Basketball Player of the Year, and the Atlantic Region Women's Basketball Player of the Year, was enjoying an incredible start to the season before that injury, averaging 22 points and 7 rebounds per game. She has been out since December the 6th, but you look at the rest of this team and you've got players that have stepped up for the Fighting Falcons. Gabby Reap, as a junior from Bridgeport, averaging 14.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals per game, has stepped up as this team's leader. Also in double figures, Halen Cook, a freshman from Wheeling, averaging 11.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.5 steals. Stephanie Anderson's team is among the best defensive squads in the MEC, gives up 68 points per game so far this season in 20 games, and really forces their opponents into some tough shots. They shoot opponents down as 41% from the field, 30% from 3. So West Virginia State will be facing one of the better defensive teams in the league today. The Yellowjackets on the other side have struggled at times offensively. They average 68 points per game, right on par with what Fairmont State allows. So you might think a defensive-minded game today would be the way to go for both of these teams. West Virginia State, of course, coming off of that victory back on Wednesday, a strong performance from Bailey Goins with 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Nice job to get her back on track after some recent struggles. Had a really tough go of it a week ago at Wheeling. She was able to find her footing against Frostburg State, and if you're West Virginia State, you hope your leading scorer can continue that momentum today. We've got our starting lineups ready to go in just a couple of minutes before we tip things off and have the national anthem here inside the Walker Convocation Center. The West Virginia State men's basketball team, as I said, up next. After this one, the Yellowjackets looking to snap a 7-game losing streak. And this Fairmont State men's basketball team is among the best, not only in the MEC, but the best in the nation. 17-3 on the year, battling West Liberty for first place in the Mountain East Conference We're excited to bring you that action here from inside the Walker Convocation Center not that long from now. But elsewhere, you take a look at this Fairmont women's basketball team. Mentioned Gabby Reap, mentioned Halen Cook. It's an extremely balanced effort beyond that. Reap the leading scorer at 14 points per game, but Fairmont State comes in with 6 players averaging at least 8.5 points per game. So any given Fighting Falcon, you could say, could be the one that spells defeat for West Virginia State today. But the Yellowjackets have very much the same kind of mindset. You've got Bailey Goins that averages 14 points. Ajane Young averages 11. Amani Hickman close to 12. Letitia Parrish close to 11 as well. So the balance from both of these teams, something to be watched throughout the game. Who steps up, who takes that leadership role and leads their team to a win today. Mentioned the Mountain East Conference standings before. Glenville State is 12-2 in first place. Fairmont State and West Virginia Wesleyan tied behind them at 10-3. Charleston sneaking up behind them at 10-4 as well. Again, the Mountain East Conference tournament comes up the first week of March. The top 10 teams in the league qualify for the conference tournament. Right now, that means Davis and Elkins would be left out. They're 3 games behind Point Park for that number 10 seed, but there is a lot of basketball left to be played here in the month of March, rather the month of February. Not quite ready to get to the month of March yet here in the Mountain East Conference, but West Virginia State in a spot where it can position itself well for that conference tournament. The Yellowjackets a game behind Frostburg State, 1.5 games behind Wheeling. West Virginia State with a couple of bounces their right way in just a matter of 2 games could climb as high as the 6th seed for the Mountain East Conference tournament here in the final months of the season. We're just about ready for tip-off. It's West Virginia State and Fairmont State in women's basketball action. This is Yellow Jacket Hoops on 107.3 The Beat.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
In NCAA Division II, student-athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student-athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student-athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Her seventh-year head coach Stephanie Anderson. Running the point is the leading scorer, Gabby Reap, at 14 points, 6 rebounds and 4 assists per game, enjoying a breakout season her junior year out of Bridgeport, West Virginia, standing 5'7". Joining her in the backcourt, 5'9", a freshman from Wheeling, West Virginia, Halen Cook, averages 11.5 points and 5 rebounds per game. She's the replacement in the starting lineup for the injured Leslie Huffman. She's averaged better than 14 points per game in the 12 contests the Fighting Falcons have played without last year's Mountain East Conference Player of the Year. It's a 3-guard lineup with Zanaya Murray, a senior 5'5", from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, averaging 8.5 points and 3 rebounds per contest. On the wing, Layla Jones is a 5'10" junior, a transfer from the University of Akron out of Westerville, Ohio, averages 9 points and 4 rebounds per game. And she's joined in the front court by Alana Tate, a 5'8" junior from Frederick, Maryland, averaging 9.5 points and 4 rebounds per game. She's a transfer from Frostburg State, where she spent the first 2 years of her collegiate career elsewhere in the MEC. For West Virginia State, a change to the starting lineup. Jessica Asuana makes her first start of the season, the 6'3" junior from Tappahannock, Virginia, part of that comeback for the Yellowjackets back on Wednesday against Frostburg State. Averages 3 points and 1.5 rebounds per game. Joining her in the front court, Amani Hickman, the senior from Huntington, West Virginia, the transfer from Concord, averages close to 12 points and 7 rebounds per game. It's a 3-guard look still for West Virginia State, with Asuana stepping into the starting lineup. Ajane Young will share ball handling duties with Bailey Goins. Young averages 11 points and 4 rebounds per game in her second season here with West Virginia State. Goins, the 5'10" senior from Nitro, is the leading scorer at 14 points and 4 rebounds per contest, has hit a team-high 43 pointers. And on the wing, Letitia Paris is a 5'8" senior from Nashville, Tennessee, averaging 10.5 points and 6 rebounds per game. We're ready for tip-off. Fairmont State dressed in its road maroon, Fairmont in white trimmed in silver above the number, with State beneath it in the same font, and white numerals outlined in that same silver tone, and a thick silver stripe down the side of the jerseys and the shorts with white trim outside that. West Virginia State in home whites, white tops and bottoms with black numerals trimmed in a Vegas gold. WVSU above the number, Jackets beneath it in that same gold color as the Yellowjackets win the tip. Asuana into the backcourt for Young. High post to Hickman. Skip pass left side corner for Goins. Back to Hickman, driving with the left hand out on the wing. Back to the top of the key now for Ajane Young. Swung right side for Paris into the middle of the lane. A pass to Asuana. She skips it left side for Goins, who drives. Dishes inside for Asuana again, but Goins calling for an offensive foul on the drive. Bowled over Alana Tate as she made the pass. It's an offensive foul against West Virginia State, and it'll be Fairmont State basketball coming the other way. 7th-year head coach Stephanie Anderson barks out the signals as her Team attacks from left to right across your radio dial. West Virginia State in its 2-3 zone here to start as the ball goes left wing for Layla Jones, now into the high post for Murray, out right side to Reap on a left-hand dribble, crosses over to the right, works the baseline and throws it back out to Tate out on the right wing. She penetrates into the lane, an off-balance shot will go over Osawana. Offensive rebound, Murray forces it back up. That's no good. She tips the rebound to herself, throws it back out. Now it comes inside to Cook, who's tied up by Goins, and the arrow is with Fairmont State. 17 seconds in the shot clock, 52 seconds gone here between West Virginia State and Fairmont State in Mountain East Conference women's hoops action. Reap, right baseline, will throw it in, lobs it to Jones on the right wing. She'll take a three with a hand in her face. It's off the back of the rim. Rebound tipped out, grabbed by Hickman, who comes up with a couple dribbles, now throws a cross-court pass left side to Goins, who brings it into the front court. Goins throws a pass wide of Hickman out of bounds. Under some pressure from Cook. That's a turnover against West Virginia State. Yellowjackets turn it over nearly 20 times per game. Going to be looking to chip away at that number today. 2-3 zone from the Jackets. Zaniyah Murray left alone on the left wing. Not going to take the three. Gives it back out high to Jones. Back to Murray, left side. She penetrates with a right hand. Her cross-court pass intended for Reap. Deflected out of bounds by Paris, and it'll stay here with Fairmont State. 16 on the shot clock. Cook inbounds to Reap, and they'll reset against the zone of the Yellowjackets. Reap on the dribble to the left wing, back to Cook at the head of the key. With a hand in her face, she puts down a right-hand dribble, crosses over to her left, gives it back to Reap with 5 to shoot. Reap working on Young, can't find an angle to the basket, down to 2 on the shot clock, crosses over, fires a shot with a hand in her face, but not until after the shot clock expired. It's West Virginia State basketball on the turnover. 8:25 to play in this first quarter. We're still scoreless. West Virginia State has not attempted a shot yet. But a great defensive possession there from the Yellowjackets. Inbound against some full court pressure comes to Young, who throws it away. It's taken by Murray up the floor to Reap, and a wide open layup. She scores for the game's first points. Some diamond pressure here in the full court as it comes right side to Goins. Over the top, throws to Hickman. It's a 2-on-1 into the lane. She stops, lays it up, and scores. Jump stop in the lane from Amani Hickman allowed the defender Jones to fly by, and she lays it in for West Virginia State's first two. Murray around left corner. Here's a three-pointer on the way. It's missed long by Alana Tate and rebounded by West Virginia State. Long pass up the left side to Young. Pitch back to Paris. She works down to the left baseline. Now uses up the dribble and gives it to Hickman left of the circle. She drives, gets around Jones. Inside, Osawana lays it up and scores. Good look from Amani Hickman. Pass goes big to big across the lane, and West Virginia State takes its first lead 4-2. 7.5 minutes left in this first quarter of action. It's Reap right side, skip pass left wing to Jones into the corner for Cook. A contested three, she hit it. Halen Cook shoots just 30% from three. That's her 21st of the season, and it puts Fairmont State ahead 5-4. Hickman in the front court, works it down onto the left wing, hands off to Paris. She's switched on to Tate, puts down a left-hand dribble, back to the top of the key. It goes to Goins. Goins jab steps left, drives right, fires a one-handed pass left side to Hickman onto the left wing. Paris for three, and she answers from distance. Letitia Paris with just her 10th three-pointer of the season. Doesn't take a whole lot of them, but she shoots them at a 35% clip, and West Virginia State retakes the lead 7-5. Reap works a dribble over onto the right wing, back between the circles. Murray reverse left wing to Jones, back Murray straight away, fakes a pass inside, now lobs it for Cook in the right side corner. It's over her head and out of bounds. Fairmont State will make the game's first substitution as Ryan Davis checks in, 6-foot freshman from Cleveland, averages 9 points per game. They're going to go with a bigger lineup here as the 5'8" Tate goes to the sideline. Try to match Hickman and Osawana up front against the pressure. It's broken over midcourt to Goins. She attacks 3-on-2. Fakes a pass, now whips it underneath for Osawana. It's deflected first by Fairmont State's Murray and then off Osawana and out of bounds. 7-5, the West Virginia State lead with 6.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Stephanie Anderson holds up 5 fingers on her right hand, and Gabby Reap goes into the front court with the basketball. It's thrown right side corner for Davis, a 15-footer with a hit in her face, and she hits it. Ryan Davis, fresh off the bench, ties the game at 7. Paris breaks the pressure. Up the left side, it goes to Hickman. She spins away from Cook, penetrates inside the arc, gives it back to the top of the key now for Goins. Goins with a waist-high right-hand dribble, defended tightly by Reap, and we'll get a whistle and a foul called away from the ball. And it's going to go against Osawana, who had the size advantage inside on Cook. Tried to seal her and gets called for the foul. That's the first on Osawana. And she'll come out of the game. Genesee Bird checks in for the Yellowjackets. Fairmont State makes a change as well, with Mackenzie Swain into the game to replace Layla Jones on the inside. Reap quickly across midcourt, gives it to Murray, left wing. She penetrates with a left hand, dribble back to Davis, straight on. She drives, lost the basketball, and is called for the double dribble. Fumbled as she went into the paint. Tried to take another dribble and gets called for the violation. 5 minutes, 51 seconds left first quarter, all knotted at 7 between West Virginia State and Fairmont State. Women's basketball action here in Mountain East Conference play. Young yo-yos it across midcourt, now attacks left side, pulls up from 15 and sinks it. That's Ajane Young's game. That jumper off the dribble puts the Yellowjackets ahead 9-7. They retreat into the 2-3 zone as Murray gets the ball left wing. She's going to hoist a three, missed everything. Offensive rebound inside, falls to Swain, who forces a shot back up. That won't go. Rebound tipped around. Hickman had it for a moment. It's deflected out of bounds and will stay here with Fairmont State. Murray's a 28% three-point shooter. She's made 5 all season, and West Virginia State's daring her to take them. Reap will throw it in baseline to the left. Fakes a pass into the lane, now lobs it out high, finds Murray between the circles. Reap now comes out and gets the basketball with 5:15 to play in the opening quarter. She drives with the right hand, loses her footing. It's loose on the floor. Reap down after it. She's tied up by Bird. West Virginia State will get the ball in the arrow. Reap with an aggressive drive into the lane, just had the ball knocked away. Paris got a hand on it, and then Bird was able to jump on top of the pile and tie up the ball handler. It'll be West Virginia State basketball. Tate back into the game, replaces Cook. This is a short bench for Stephanie Anderson. Expect to see 7 players get most of the minutes, maybe 8. Inbound to Bird, back to Goins. Dangerous pass finds Young. She shovels it ahead to Paris. Lobbed under the basket for Hickman. She can't make the layup. It's tipped around, grabbed in the paint by Young. She tries to clear some space, bounces it out high to Goins, who lost the basketball. Stolen by Murray. It's a run out, 2-on-1. She takes it left side, hop steps in the lane and scores. That ties the game at 9. We're under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. We'll get a timeout on our next dead ball. Goins dashes across midcourt, crosses over to her left hand, takes it into the paint, hangs in the air with a runner that misses off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Tate for Fairmont State, who pushes it ahead with a right hand dribble over midcourt. Back to Murray at the nose of the key. Young sagging off of her. She gives it back to Tate. Now left side. Reap will take an open look at 3. It's off the backboard. Long rebound picked up for a moment by Paris. It's deflected out of bounds and will stay with Fairmont State after a timeout on the floor. 4:16 to play in this first quarter. West Virginia State and Fairmont State are tied at 9. It's Yellow Jacket basketball on 107.3 The Beat. Fairmont State and Mountain East Conference basketball. The Yellowjackets and the Fighting Falcons even with one another, 9-9 after 5 minutes and 44 seconds of play. Take a look at the early numbers for both teams. A lot of feeling out still to be done. Letitia Paris, her three-pointer, gives her the most for West Virginia State. Ajane Young's got 2. Amani Hickman's got 2. Jessica Osawana's got 2. Fairmont State, led by Zanaya Murray, who's got 4. 3 for Halen Cook and 2 for Ryan Davis. So a little bit of a low-scoring start, not necessarily a surprise between these two teams. Fairmont State allows 68 points per game. West Virginia State allows 71. And in a high-scoring league like the MEC, sometimes that's all it takes. You take a look at the numbers for the league, and these are the number 4 and number 5 defenses in the conference. Wheeling, incredibly stingy, averages just 58 points per game allowed to their opponents. And you can see why they've enjoyed maybe a little bit of a surprise success in their first year under Ella Skeens, playing with a lot of new faces. Fairmont State basketball out of the timeout. Halen Cook with it, guarded by Kenley Rogers, who's checked in for West Virginia State. She throws it high post to Ryan Davis, out to Gabby Reap on the left wing, who penetrates to the baseline. Turned away by Letitia Paris, brings it all the way out to the top of the key. Now gives it to Cook right wing to Reap straight away, penetrating left of the lane, in on Hickman, throws up a wild shot that won't go. Bird had the rebound for a moment. It falls to Cook, who's bumped on her way back up to the basket, and she'll get 2 free throws. Halen Cook to the free throw line where she shoots 75%. The freshman from Wheeling, product of the Lindsley School, as Bailey Goins comes back in for West Virginia State, replacing Bird. Cook has had an impact right away for this Fairmont State program, 3rd in the MEC in steals as she sends the first free throw up, 9th in free throw percentage, interestingly enough, and said during our pregame coverage, she's been the one to step into the starting lineup with Leslie Huffman out for the year, and she's averaged better than 14 points per game in those 12 starts. Second free throw off back rim, rebounded by Goins, who brings it ahead for West Virginia State. Sends it right side for Paris, who drives around Davis into the lane, throws it back to Goins from the right elbow. Goins guarded out high by Davis, crosses over left hand, now attacks and gives it up for Young on a handoff left side. She takes it into the paint, bounces it towards the right side corner for Rogers, who nearly lost it out of bounds. She saves it to Paris. She lost the basketball. It's picked up on the run by Swain, now knocked into the backcourt for West Virginia State to take it ahead with Ajane Young. A fresh 30 on the shot clock after some chaotic defense there from Fairmont State. Young guarded tightly by Cook, picks up her dribble, shuffled her feet, and traveled. Fairmont State basketball, 3:11 to play, first quarter between the Yellowjackets and the Fighting Falcons. Gabby Reap's been quiet so far against this West Virginia State zone defense. She's guarded out high by Kenley Rogers. It goes on to the right side now for Swain, who assesses the defense to Cook between the circles. Now to the free throw line. Tate, turnaround 15-footer, rims out. It's yanked down out of the air by Letitia Paris. She lobs it over the top for Hickman, who's in behind everyone. An easy layup for 2, and the Yellowjackets go ahead 11-10 with 10:45 left in this first quarter. Reap dashes up across midcourt, gives it to Davis, right wing. She takes 2 dribbles, fires away from the free throw line. It's off the back of the rim. Rebound taken away by Paris. She throws it long down the floor for Hickman again, who couldn't pull it in. And as she grabbed onto that ball, she traveled. Hickman caught it in an awkward position and took an extra step to try to get a shot off. 3 changes here for Fairmont State at the dead ball. Tate, Swain, and Reap out of the game. Hadley Horn checks in for the first time as Jones returns along with Murray. With Reap out of the game, Cook runs the point. She dribbles right side. It's reversed around to the left. Here's Horn on a wide open 3. It's off the front of the rim, grabbed in the middle of the lane by Murray. Out to Cook in the right side corner. They'll reset with 2:10 to play in the first. Cook back top of the key, throws it left wing for Jones. An open look at 3, rims out. Rebound Paris for West Virginia State. Outlet left side goes to Bailey Goins. Kicked up the floor. Rogers left wing transition 3. Missed it long. Rebound Davis for Fairmont State. She flips it out to Cook, who pushes ahead with under 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Swung left wing to Murray, back to Jones straight away. She drives with the right hand, spins to her left, stops at the free throw line, gets the ball knocked away and resets out high. To Murray left side, who drives into the lane, in against Hickman. Had the shot partially blocked. It's rebounded by West Virginia State. Pass over the top, Goins to Paris, streaking to the hoop. She couldn't lay it in. Now a foul called on the rebound as she ran into Layla Jones. And the foul will go against West Virginia State's Letitia Paris at the 1:35 mark of this first quarter. First foul on Paris, team foul number 3, make it 4 against the Yellowjackets. 90 seconds left in the first quarter as Cook trots across midcourt. Makes the play call as West Virginia State remains in its zone defense. She works to the left off a screen from Davis, crosses over, now turns her back to the basket, throws it inside for Davis, who's double teamed. And it looks like we'll get a whistle and a foul on West Virginia State. It will be called on Hickman, who reached in to try to knock the ball away. That's her first. Team foul number 5 is going to put Fairmont State at the free throw line. Jessica Osawana will return for the Yellowjackets and replace Hickman. 1:19 left first quarter. Ryan Davis goes to the line for Fairmont State. She shoots just 52% from the charity stripe. First shot for the freshman off the back of the rim. Gets a couple of bounces, but it won't fall. Davis from Cleveland, Ohio. one of several young talents that's really stepped up for Fairmont State this year and leading them to a 16-4 record. She sinks the second free throw. That ties the game at 11. Quick inbound comes right side to Young. She assesses her options. Now pushes it across midcourt on the dribble. Picks it up down on the right wing. Has it knocked away. It's loose on the floor. She's tied up. Whitney Bay's trying to call a timeout. Instead, they'll blow the whistle for the held ball first. And the arrow is with Fairmont State. Murray got a quick hand on the basketball. And it's going to go to the Fighting Falcons. Emily Anthony checking in for West Virginia State for the first time will replace Young. 70 seconds left in this first quarter. And Cook gets the basketball and will walk it up. Two screens set for her at the top of the key. She chooses the one on the right and will pop a three with a hand in her face. It's off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound, Murray thrown back out left wing for Cook. Under a minute to play first quarter. Her pass goes wide of Davis. Anthony gets a hand on the basketball and knocks it out of bounds. It's going to be Fairmont State ball. Pass for Davis was errant. She had a chance to track it down. Anthony nearly took it away. It stays here with Fairmont. Cook on the attack. Back to the top of the key for Jones. Will fire a straightaway three. Missed right side. Offensive rebound. Horn had her shot blocked. It's tipped by Paris. It goes all the way to Jones on the left wing. 37 seconds to play in the first quarter. 14 on the shot clock for Fairmont State. Jones pressured tightly by Rogers. Takes it down the right side of the lane. Can't finish. Rebound tipped by Osawana. Grabbed by Anthony. Shot clock turned off, but Anthony with a long pass ahead has it deflected right back at her. Murray got her hands on it and then was fouled. Anthony fighting for the ball ends up knocking Murray to the floor. And it's going to be two free throws for Zaniah Murray. The senior guard from Pittsburgh is a 60% shooter at the line. West Virginia State really struggling to maintain possession of the basketball. Has turned it over 11 times in the first quarter. They've ruled that's a player control foul, so it's not going to put Murray at the free throw line. It is going to give Fairmont State the basketball with the shot clock turned off. 25 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Cook with a waist-high right-hand dribble, bleeding that clock away, takes it down to 15 seconds. Now down to 12 as she goes to work on Anthony. Backing in with the right hand, works it out onto the wing, throws it to Jones, popping out. She'll take a straightaway three. It rims out. Rebound tipped by Goins. Horn has it. She puts it back up with 2 seconds. That won't go. Murray at the buzzer. Can't stick it back either. And we will go to the second quarter with West Virginia State and Fairmont State tied at 11. It's women's basketball action on 107.3 The Beat.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
West Virginia State committed 11 first quarter turnovers. Fairmont State's defense has been smothering against the Yellowjackets, but the number that stands out in a massive way, Fairmont State pulled down 12 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. Fairmont State averaged better than an offensive rebound per minute. in that first quarter, and we are tied at 11. Fairmont State is just 4 of 24 from the field, so have not been able to turn a lot of those into points. But here's a steal on the inbounds pass. Zanaya Murray takes it into the lane and scores, plus the foul. Inbounds pass from Letitia Paris went right through Ajane Young's hands. Murray picked it up, took it to the basket, and drew a foul on Young, who will go to the bench with Kenley Rogers coming in for West Virginia State. Just 5 seconds gone here in the second quarter, and Fairmont State has gone back ahead. Murray, a 60% free throw shooter, makes the first. 14-11 the score with 9:55 left second quarter. Here's Goins breaking a trap. Ran into Cook, who will be called for a blocking foul. Gabby Reeps checked back in for Fairmont State. Leading scorer held without a point in that first quarter. Goins to throw it in from in front of the West Virginia State bench. Gets it right side to Paris, right back to Goins, who brings it up against Murray. Now throws a long pass up the left side to Paris. Backing down to the left side corner, gives it back to Goins. She fakes a pass, now drives with the left hand, stops 15 feet from the hoop, gives it to Hickman. Here's a left corner three, off the front of the rim, rebound, pulled down by Halen Cook for Fairmont State. She throws a pass over everyone's heads, including its intended target, Mackenzie Swain. It goes out of bounds back to West Virginia State. 30 seconds off this second quarter clock. It's 14-11, Fairmont State in front of West Virginia State. Bailey Goins gets the play call from the sideline as Fairmont State pulls its pressure back. She works a left-hand dribble on Murray, down onto the wing, stops a step inside the three-point line, and gives it back to Paris. Paris, crossover, left hand, gets away from Reap, takes it into the paint, skips it right side to Rogers. She drives down the baseline and throws a pass to no one in particular. Just lobbed it out of bounds towards the far sideline. And she will come out of the game replaced by Genesee Bird. Just a miscommunication there as Paris and Goins both cut from the backside, and there was nobody there to meet the pass from Rogers. Back comes Reap into the front court, gives it to Jones, high post. Back out to Reap, right side corner. Cook, skip past Murray on the left wing, bounced inside for Swain, backing in on Bird. Back to Murray again. She looks inside to Jones at the free throw line. She'll take a 15-footer. It misses off the back of the rim, rebounded by Hickman. Hickman, cross-court pass to double coverage for Paris, and Murray came up with it. It's thrown right back to Goins. Here comes West Virginia State, 4-on-3. Inside to Asawana, spins into the lane, can't finish. Rebound pulled out of the air by Jones for Fairmont State. Outlet right side, Reap. Up the floor to Cook. She attacks in on Paris. Turns her back to the defender, back to Reap. Extra pass right side corner. Cook takes the three, got it. Halen Cook doubles the lead for Fairmont State at 17-11 with 8:24 to play in this second quarter of action. Fairmont State leads West Virginia State in women's basketball action. This is West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The Beat. 1 minute.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
$8:24 to play second quarter. Fairmont State has scored the first 6 points of this second stanza with the West Virginia State Yellowjackets. 17-11 the score in favor of the Fighting Falcons. West Virginia State and Fairmont State were all knotted at 11, but a West Virginia State turnover, the 12th of the game, turned into a three-point play for Zanaya Murray. A couple possessions later, Halen Cook hits a three. And that puts us where we are here. West Virginia State has turned the ball over 14 times in less than 12 minutes of game time. So it's Yellow Jacket basketball out of the timeout called by Whitney Bays. Bailey Goins will run the point for the Yellow Jackets. Zanaya Murray meets her at midcourt. She throws it into the high post for Amani Hickman on the right elbow. Kicks it out left corner to Letitia Paris. Crosses over left hand, turned away on the dribble by Jones. Throws it back to Hickman out high. Reversed around right side corner. Here's Goins. Her shot deflected by Murray. Rebounded by Reap for Fairmont State. Bird pressures her in the backcourt. Now Reap quickly pushes it across the halfway line. She drives into the right elbow. Throws it back left of the circle to Jones. Left side for Murray. High post for Tate crashing into the lane. Her shot off the front of the rim, no. Rebounded by Osawana. She gives it up to Bird. Quick pass into the front court, right side to Goins. Hesitates, now drives on Jones. Wraps a pass into the lane for Hickman. That's off her hands, out of bounds. .7:44 to play in the second quarter. Halen Cook's going to check back in for Fairmont State and replace Zanaya Murray in the lineup. Inbound to Cook, pitched right back to Reap, who jogs it across midcourt with 7:40 to play until halftime. Nobody picks her up as she comes to the top of the key. Now she gives it to Cook right side. Onto the right elbow for Tate. She'll take a 15-footer. Missed it with Osawana's hand in her face. It's rebounded to Bird. Bounced right side for Goins. She pushes it up over midcourt on the dribble. Goins hesitates. Now takes it right in the lane on the drive. Picks it up. Pitches it back to Bird. Inside her. Cross-court pass for Osawana is deflected out of bounds, but they call a charge anyway as Bird knocked over the defender Cook, and she's called for the foul. Second foul on Bird, 7:19 to play in this second quarter. That's the second team foul on West Virginia State as well. Reap on the dribble up across midcourt, sends it left wing to Jones. Fakes a pass back to Reap, throws it into the high post now for Tate. She faces up on Hickman, out to the right wing now for Cook on a left-hand drive. She fumbled it for a moment, then tried to throw a cross-court pass to Swain that's batted out of play by Goins. Left baseline for Reap, throws it to Jones, who quickly takes a three and hits it. 9-0 run for Fairmont State over the first 3 minutes of this second quarter. Layla Jones, top three-point shooter on the team, hits it from outside. Paris, left side corner, looks to answer. It rims out. Hickman had the rebound for a moment, slipped out of her hands. It's last touched by Fairmont State and will stay with the Jackets. Delaney Brooks coming in for the first time for West Virginia State will replace Osawana. Ryan Davis in for Fairmont State, comes in for Swain. Paris will throw it in, baseline left for the Yellowjackets. Tries to lob it into Hickman. It's deflected and stolen. Jones comes up with it. Now Tate comes the other way on the dribble. Right-hand drive to the top of the key. Back to Jones, right of the circle for three. Rattles it in. 12 straight for Fairmont State here to start the second quarter. Back-to-back threes from Layla Jones push the advantage to 12. Goins working on Cook, whips a one-handed pass to Brooks into the left corner for Paris. She penetrates, back to Goins, jab steps right, drives left, throws inside for Hickman, but first a foul called on the drive as she blew by Jones. She grabbed her and she went by. And West Virginia State will make a change. Ajane Young coming in for Letitia Paris. Hickman lobs it to the top of the key for Young. Reverse left side to Goins. A shot fake. Throws back to Young. She'll take a straightaway three. It's off the back of the rim. Rebound tipped around by Hickman. It's loose. It's deflected. It goes out of bounds. It belongs to Fairmont State. First 12 points of the second quarter belong to Fairmont State as we hit the 6-minute mark of this second frame. Gabby Reap gives it into the high post for Alana Tate, who drives in, throws up an off-balance shot. Took a bump from Goins, no whistle either way. It's rebounded by Young, and now out to Goins, who throws it over the top to Brooks, who throws it away. It's taken by Jones. That is West Virginia State's 18th turnover. Jones takes it ahead 5-on-4 as Brooks runs back into the play. It's handed off to Reap to set in the half court. Now 20 on the shot clock. She crosses over right hand, takes it into the paint, steps across on Goins, lays it in, plus the foul. Bumped hip to hip with Bailey Goins, was able to maintain enough balance to get the shot off and score it. That's going to be a three-point play opportunity for Gabby Reap, and it's going to bring Bailey Goins out of the game with her second foul. Gabby Reap at the line where she shoots 66%, leading scorer for Fairmont State on the season, not named Leslie Huffman. who again has not played since early December with an injury. Free throw up and in for Reap. She'll be replaced by Hadley Horn. A 15-0 run for Fairmont State here over the first 4.5 minutes of the second quarter. West Virginia State still scoreless in this second frame. Paris at the top of the key to Hickman. Back to Paris. She'll hoist a straight on three. It's off the back of the rim. No. Hickman pulls down the offensive rebound. Gives it to Paris, who penetrates into the paint. Pulls up from 14 feet. That missed that one long. She got her own rebound. Now she's knocked to the floor. A foul called against Fairmont State. And it's going to go against Ryan Davis. That's the first on Davis. Team foul number 3. Paris throws it right in the lane on the inbound to Young, who brings it back to the free throw line. Gets a screen from Hickman, now picks up the dribble. Shoveled left side to Paris. She's double teamed and swings it back to Rogers. Rogers crosses over left hand, pulls up from the free throw line, missed that one. Rebound tipped down to Paris. Her shot middle of the lane is no good off the left side. She chases her rebound again, gets it back. It is knocked down by Horn. It'll be West Virginia State ball again with a foul on the rebound. 4:51 to play in this second quarter. West Virginia State has gone upwards of 5 minutes without any points and has outscored 15-0 so far here in the second quarter. Inbound left corner to Hickman, handed back to Paris, who's guarded tightly by Davis. Paris with a left-hand dribble. Now she picks it up, throws a cross-court pass that somehow finds Brooks inside, and she lays it in with Horn right on top of her. First points for West Virginia State come with under 4:40 left in the second quarter. It's 26-13. Here's a right wing three from Jones off the nose of the rim. Rebounded by Young. She'll push it herself for West Virginia State. Crosses over to the right hand, hesitates, now takes it into the lane, out for Brooks. Here's a right corner jumper from 17, and she knocks it down. 4 straight points for Delaney Brooks. West Virginia State with a spark. Trails by 11, 26-15. Halen Cook runs the point as Gabby Reap and Zanaya Murray go back to the scorer's table for Fairmont State. It's kicked onto the left wing for Horn. Back to the top of the key to Jones. Looking inside for Davis with a size advantage on Paris. Spins to her left but missed the layup. It's rebounded by Brooks, and back come the Yellowjackets. 3-on-3. She comes into the front court, slows down the pace, bounces it back to Young in the center jump circle. Whitney Bays taps her elbow with the play call, and now Young goes on the drive, gets around Cook, pulls up from 15 and sinks it. West Virginia State with 6 straight. A tough shot for Ajane Young. Trims the deficit back down to single digits. 26-17, the Fairmont State lead with 3:35 to play second quarter. It's Hadley Horn with the ball in the left wing. Back to Jones straight away. Paris with a hand in her face. She puts down a right hand dribble, hands it off to Tate, who brings it back to the top of the key. Tate driving in on Paris, lowered the shoulder. It's an offensive foul. Paris went down hard and is a bit slow to get up here. Athletic trainer Haley Bassett out for West Virginia State, as it looks like Paris just got the wind knocked out of her. She points to her chest. It's going to be West Virginia State basketball, and she's going to stay in the game. A 15-0 run for Fairmont State to start the second quarter. West Virginia State has scored the last 6 as Murray and Reap check back in. Inbound comes to Young, who trots across midcourt where Murray waits for her. Yo-yos it in her right hand, crosses over to the left. Brooks sets her a screen. Now she gets one from Hickman, picks it up, tries to throw it to Hickman, has it stolen. Davis took it away, up ahead to Reap on the run out. Left hand layup, rattles around and drops. 3 minutes and 5 seconds to play second quarter. Fairmont State to an 11-point lead, 28-17. Here's Hickman attacking right of the lane, skips it left wing to Young. She drives with the left hand, pulls up 15-footer off the right side. Rebound tipped down by Jones. Outlet Reap. Here comes Fairmont State, 5-on-3. It goes to Murray right side. She dances into the lane, runs over Brooks. It's a blocking foul. Murray tried to step around Brooks, who had solid position inside, but the angle that the contact came at is going to make that a blocking foul. It's going to put Murray at the free throw line for 2, where she shoots 60%. Rogers out of the game for West Virginia State. Bird back in. 2 shots here for Murray as Fairmont State's in the bonus. First one on the way, misses off the back of the rim. Second shot for the senior from Pittsburgh. That one drops. She'll be replaced by Halen Cook. Rather, Cook's going to come in for Jones. And Fairmont State's going to pick up his full court pressure again. 29-17 the lead with 2:48 to play here in the second quarter. Inbound comes into the paint for Young, who's double teamed, has the ball batted away out of bounds. It'll be Bird to throw it in, baseline to the right for West Virginia State. Murray pressures the basketball. She gets it in to Hickman, who tries to step through a double team and is bumped by Davis. Whistle and a foul will put West Virginia State at the free throw line. Yellowjackets are in the bonus. So 2 coming up here for Amani Hickman. That's the second foul caught on Ryan Davis. Hickman, the senior from Huntington, shoots 70% at the line. She's got 4 points and 4 rebounds here for West Virginia State in the first half. Mackenzie Swain returns for Fairmont State and replaces Davis. First free throw from Hickman rims out. The transfer from Concord has had some of her better performances of late. Scored 13 back on Wednesday. She sinks the second free throw, makes it an 11-point game, 29-18. 2:40 to go, second quarter. Fairmont State leads West Virginia State by double digits. It's Reap near midcourt, and Young going to be caught reaching in. That'll put Reap at the free throw line as Fairmont State's still in the bonus. Two free throws here for Gabby Reap, the Bridgeport native. Has seen her role expand each year. Played in 18 games without recording much statistically as a freshman in 2024 as she misses the first free throw. Had a roll off the bench last year, about 5 points, 3 rebounds per game. This year has stepped up as a 14-point per game scorer, and with Huffman out, she's the leading scorer on this team. Sinks the second free throw, makes it 30-18. Inbound middle of the lane to Young, who throws it off a foot. And the kickball violation keeps it with West Virginia State. Paris under the basket, throws it left side looking for Hickman. It's stolen by Swain, who takes it to the basket and can't finish. The rebound knocked around. Swain grabs it as she falls to the floor, and Stephanie Anderson calls a timeout to maintain the possession. That's the 13th offensive rebound for Fairmont State in this first half. Like I said, they had 12 in the first quarter. That doesn't sound like a real number. But West Virginia State, particularly when it's been in the 2-3 zone, has really struggled to rebound. And Fairmont State has taken advantage. The problem with that is Fairmont State, with 13 offensive rebounds, has 1 second chance point. They've not been able to take advantage of those offensive rebounds and turn them into points. Fairmont State is just 10 of 37 from the field. West Virginia State is 8 of 22. But it's a 12-point lead for the Fighting Falcons with 2:26 left in this second quarter. West Virginia State had a spark a few minutes ago, scored 6 straight points. That only came after a 15-0 Fairmont State run. And the Falcons have run their lead back to 12 in the meantime. Bailey Goins back in for West Virginia State with 2 fouls. Michaela Smith comes in for the first time for the Yellowjackets, and Emily Anthony returns as well. Now we've got a little bit of a dispute between the officials and the scorers table. Shot clock reads 29, game clock reads 2:26. And we are held up here for the moment. Both teams in the bonus as well, but nobody's going to the free throw line. It doesn't have anything to do with the possession arrow because Stephanie Anderson got the timeout called. And they're going to reset the shot clock now to 19 seconds. That's got us ready to play. Mystery solved. It's Fairmont State basketball. Reap to inbound underneath the basket. Her 4 teammates spread out across the free throw line. She throws it right wing to Murray, who penetrates with the left hand, stops in the lane, puts up a tough shot over Brooks that won't go. Rebound tipped by Hickman off of Swain, out of bounds, back to West Virginia State. 2:21 to go, second quarter. West Virginia State trails Fairmont State 30-18 in Mountain East Conference women's basketball action. Inbound comes to Anthony, bounced back to Hickman, throwing it ahead for Goins, but jumping into the passing lane, it's stolen by Tate inside the three-point line. It's reversed back to Reap. She puts down a left-hand dribble and brings it back behind the arc again to reset. Ball goes left wing to Murray. She jab steps, throws it to a cutting Tate in the lane, wide open for a layup. She scores. 14-point game, 32-18. Cross-court pass from Anthony, off a hand and stolen. Reap takes it up the left side, stops and gives it back to Tate. And Reap will come get the basketball again to set up in the half court. Swings it right wing now for Cook. 1:45 to play in the half. Back to Murray, left of the circle. Out for Reap, a left wing three on the way. Left it short. Rebound deflected, grabbed by Goins. She throws a pass over the top to Brooks, breaking out. She takes it in on Murray, lays it up and scores. Delaney Brooks with a spark here in the second quarter. Now has a team-high 6 points for West Virginia State, which trails by 12, 32-20, down to 1:20 left in the second quarter. Reap off a screen, working to her left from Swain. Keeps the dribble alive, gives it back to the top of the key for Tate, who spins into the lane against Goins. Kicked out left side. Cook, she penetrates to the free throw line, picks up the dribble, gives it back to Reap, driving left of the lane, has it knocked away. Goins with the steal, takes it ahead 2-on-2, crosses over, right hand, dishes it inside for Smith, can't get a shot away, gives it to Hickman, middle of the lane. She forces up a shot and is hit in the arm. She'll shoot 2 free throws. Missed it off the back of the rim, but it's going to be free throws now for West Virginia State's Amani Hickman. That's the first foul called against Mackenzie Swain. She will check out of the game, replaced by Hadley Horn. Goins will come out for West Virginia State with Paris back in, down to 56 seconds here to play in this second quarter. First shot for Hickman on the way. That one's good. Coming up at the half, we'll take a look back at the first half numbers, as well as what else is going on in the Mountain East Conference, then a look at the national sports headlines. Second free throw off the back of the rim from Hickman, chased down by Horn. And a pass up to midcourt for Reap, runs into Anthony, gets the ball back, throws it right side to Murray. Now into the lane goes Jones on the drive. She's hit on the arm as she shoots, and she'll shoot 2 free throws. West Virginia State wanted an offensive foul called as Reap bowled over Anthony, but no whistle either way for an offensive foul or for a blocking foul against Anthony. And instead it turns into free throws for Layla Jones. First on the way is good. 5'10" junior from Westerville, Ohio, started her college career at the University of Akron. Played 18 games there, transferred to Fairmont State last year. Her second free throw drops through, makes it a 34-21 game. Inbound goes to Anthony, kicked ahead to Paris across midcourt, harassed by Horn, who reaches in and is called for the foul. That foul on Horn is her second. It's going to put Letitia Paris at the free throw line, where she shoots 82%. Rogers to the scorer's table for West Virginia State as the first free throw goes down for Paris. Second shot now for Paris. Sinks that one as well. Rogers will come in for Goins, get her out for the defensive possession, dealing with those 2 personal fouls. 34-23, the lead for Fairmont State over West Virginia State here in this second quarter of action. Down to 35 seconds to go until halftime. 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Reap with a right-hand dribble working between the circles, goes left side, guarded by Anthony. Back to Cook at the head of the key, handed right back to Reap. Drives left hand into the paint, turned away, bounces it out for Jones. She drives with a right hand into the lane, is knocked to the floor, and she gets a shot off and will get 2 free throws. She also went down clutching her leg. She's going to be helped back to her feet by her teammates and will go to the line. Jones with an aggressive right-handed drive was bumped by Rogers, who's called for the foul. It'll be 2 free throws down for Layla Jones. Shot 2 on her last trip down the floor. Made them both. Here's another on the way. Missed off the left side. Under 19 seconds to go in this second quarter. Second shot from Jones. That one's good. And we'll get a substitution with Alana Tate coming back in for Fairmont State to replace Horn. 35-23, the Fairmont State lead. West Virginia State can hold for the final shot. Here trailing by 12. Brooks rolls it in for Rogers. Murray provides some pressure to force her to pick it up and let the clock run. Rogers brings it up across midcourt, works left side of the dribble, hands it off to Anthony, who brings it back to the top of the key, now driving right of the lane, leaves her feet to make a pass. It's stolen. Murray took it away. She threw it right back to Rogers. Kick left side to Paris, driving with 2 seconds on the clock, runs into Tate, who's whistled for a blocking foul. And with 1.1 seconds on the clock, that means free throws for West Virginia State in the bonus. Second foul called on Tate. And Paris will have a chance to put some points on the board before halftime. She's got 5 for the Yellowjackets to go with 7 rebounds. Her first free throw on its way, rims out. Fairmont State may have a chance to get a shot away here before the half. The second shot from Paris is good. Tate inbounds to Reap. She'll let the clock go, and it will take us to halftime with Fairmont State ahead by 11. 35-24, the advantage in Mountain East Conference women's basketball action. We'll recap the first half, tell you what else is going on around the league after this. It's West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
State trails Fairmont State 35-24 at halftime in Mountain East Conference women's basketball action. Take a look at the first half numbers for West Virginia State. The Yellowjackets overall shooting 9 of 23 from the field. That's good enough for 39%. 1 of 7 from 3 and 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Fairmont State goes 11 of 40 from the field. Got a lot more possessions than West Virginia State, just weren't able to capitalize on them. Shooting 27.5% from the field, 4 of 14 from 3 and 9 of 14 from the free throw line. The two numbers that stand out at halftime are the same numbers that stood out at the end of the first quarter. West Virginia State has turned the ball over 23 times before halftime against a Fairmont State defense that is known for forcing those turnovers. West Virginia State also allowed Fairmont State 13 offensive rebounds, 12 of which came in the first quarter. So the Yellowjackets struggling to maintain possession of the basketball, forcing 23 turnovers did Fairmont State in the first half, and again, 13 offensive rebounds for the Fighting Falcons. Take a look at the individual numbers. Layla Jones leads all scorers with 9 points for Fairmont State. That goes with 4 rebounds. 8 points for Zanaya Murray with 4 rebounds and 4 steals. 7 for Halen Cook, 6 for Gabby Reap, 3 for Ryan Davis, and 2 for Alana Tate for Fairmont State. West Virginia State led by 3 players with 6 points, Amani Hickman, Delaney Brooks, and Letitia Paris. Ajane Young scored 4, and Jessica Osawana scored 2. Bailey Goins limited significantly in that first half, dealing with some foul trouble. She committed 2 fouls, is 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, and has now turned the ball over 6 times. So West Virginia State's leading scorer with a rough go of it before halftime. But the Yellowjackets, despite, as I said, 23 turnovers and 13 Fairmont State offensive rebounds, trail by just 11. So we will see if either of those things can get corrected in the second half, and it can turn things on their ear for the Yellowjackets. Let's take a look now at what's going on around the rest of the Mountain East Conference. Close one between West Virginia Wesleyan and West Liberty right now. Wesleyan attempting to win its 8th straight conference game, leads West Liberty 39-37, a 2-point game at the half. 16 points for Emma Witt to lead West Virginia Wesleyan. Regan Vinskovich with 18 points in the first half for West Liberty. The University of Charleston hosting Frostburg State after the Yellowjackets knocked off Frostburg State back on Wednesday. It's a 34-27 lead for Charleston early in the third quarter of that game. Livia O'Day with 10 points for UC. Julie Spinelli leading Frostburg State with 12 so far. Again, that's another important game in the Mountain East Conference standings this weekend. Wheeling and Davison-Elkins in action in Elkins, and D&E looking to snap its 12-game losing streak, leads that game at the half. 29-26 is the advantage. Janiyah Marion has 10 for Davison-Elkins. Kenzie Dalton leads all scorers with 13 for Wheeling. Concord taking on Point Park. That game's at halftime. 31-29 is the lead for Concord. Abby Smith with 16 first-half points for Concord. Alexis Giles and Elizabeth Boyd both with 7 for Point Park. And then the team leading the Mountain East Conference standings is playing out of league today. A 51-26 lead for Glenville State at the half against Salem. Keontae Thompson has 11 points on the board for the Pioneers. We've got men's basketball action coming up after this one between West Virginia State and Fairmont State as well. The Yellowjackets looking to pull off the upset against the 14th ranked team in the nation. West Virginia State going to be shorthanded again today. Blake Goodman is going to miss his 3rd consecutive game with an ankle injury suffered 2 weeks ago against West Liberty. Emmerich Toussaint aggravated an ankle injury that has bothered him most of the season back on Wednesday. He is not available today. Andrew Shull also out today for West Virginia State. So it is going to be a very, 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 very short bench for head coach Brian Poore today for the West Virginia State men's basketball team. But an opportunity to take on a top 15 team in the nation this afternoon. And the Yellowjackets are up for it here inside the Walker Convocation Center. 35-24 is the lead in our women's basketball game. Fairmont State ahead of West Virginia State. We've got a look at your national sports headlines coming up next. This is West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Before halftime, their leading scorer, Bailey Goins, held scoreless in the first half, so remains to be seen if she's able to get things going here after halftime. It will be Fairmont State basketball as West Virginia State received the last held ball of the first half. Starters back on the floor for Fairmont State. That's Gabby Reeves, Zanaya Murray, Alana Tate, Layla Jones, and Halen Cook. West Virginia State goes back with its starters as well. Letitia Paris, Ajane Young, Amani Hickman, Bailey Goins, and Jessica Osawana. Tate inbounds into the backcourt for Reap as West Virginia State sets up in its matchup 2-3 zone in the half court. It goes to Tate left wing, high post to Murray, skip pass right side. Jones will take a look at three. She hits it. Third three-pointer of the game for Layla Jones. It comes on the first possession of the third quarter, makes it a 14-point game. She's got a game-high 12 points. Young, harassed by Murray in the half court, crosses over to her left hand and penetrates down to the elbow, picks up the dribble, bounces it to Hickman, cutting into the lane. Her pass inside for Osawana is deflected. It's tipped into the air. It falls to Osawana, who can't put it in. It's deflected loose on the floor, and Jones touched it last before it goes out of bounds. And Kenley Rogers is going to immediately check in for West Virginia State to replace Goins. Whitney Bays did not like what she saw in that first defensive possession from her leading scorer and goes to Rogers, who nearly has the inbounds pass, but it's knocked away and stolen by Murray. Turnover number 24 for West Virginia State. Reap across midcourt, right wing to Murray. Drives with the right hand, takes it into the lane, knocked to the floor as she gets a shot away. She'll get 2 free throws. Call it on Rogers, who got beat off the dribble. And 2 free throws coming now for Zanaya Murray, and now Jalen Vance is going to go to the scorer's table and come in for Rogers. First opportunity for her here in this game. Murray to the free throw line, shooting 2. 2 for 3 at the stripe so far, makes the first. Second shot for the senior, sends it up. That's off the back of the rim, rebounded by Hickman for West Virginia State. She kicks it ahead, nearly over Young's head before she pulls it down. Back to Hickman, who brings it across midcourt, sizing up. Cook crosses over the left hand, kicks it out to Vance. Here's a left corner 3 from the freshman, air ball. Rebound on the backside, Paris can't finish it. It's deflected out of bounds by Cook and stays with West Virginia State. Golden opportunity there for Paris on the second chance, just couldn't put it in. She'll throw it in, baseline left, needs to find a teammate, gets it to Hickman left of the lane. She puts down a dribble, hands it off to Young, working down into the corner, picks up the dribble, looking inside for Osawana with good position. She lays it up with the left hand and missed it. The rebound knocked out of her hands. It falls to Tate for Fairmont State. Tate back to Reap, who brings it across midcourt with a right-hand dribble, throws it ahead to Cook, right corner, her 3 on the way, off the back of the rim, rebounded by Hickman, who runs into Cook, who's calling for the foul. Blocking foul called on Halen Cook. West Virginia State makes changes. Michaela Smith, Genesee Bird in, Vance and Osawana out. Second foul called on Cook. I think she realized just how much of a mismatch that was physically. Had a little bit of a laugh coming as she was knocked to the floor. Now a rebound, or rather a pass, deflected out of bounds, intended for Hickman. 8:31 to go third quarter. It's Hickman to throw it in right side. Gets it to Paris. Double team comes. Throws back to Hickman. It's stolen by Cook. Up the left side, it goes to Reap in the corner. Back to Murray, top of the key. Left of the circle. Jones open for three. That's off the back of the rim. Rebound pulled in the lane by Tate. Out to Reap left side. Back to Jones straight away. Guarded tightly by Byrne. She puts down a right-handed dribble, throws it right side to Murray. Back to Reap, popping out to the top of the key. She backs into the right elbow. Out for Cook, a right wing three. That's missed off the left side of the rim. The rebound tipped off the backboard. Grabbed by Murray. She gives it to Jones. Right corner jumper, left it short. Rebound Paris comes out with it for West Virginia State. She pushes it ahead on the dribble, 4-on-2. Paris in on Reap, stops, puts it off the glass and scores. Reap stood in to try to take the charge, but Paris was able to get her feet underneath her and get the shot off first. Ball goes to Murray, left wing. She takes one dribble in, fires a 17-footer, and rattles it in. (41-26), the lead for Fairmont State with 7.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Young, left-hand crossover, throws it into the high post for Hickman with her back to Jones. Rips through, one dribble down, takes a 12-footer that's blocked back into her face. Rebounded by Tate. Up ahead, Cook, 3-on-1 underneath the basket on the left side, has her shot blocked. The rebound snared by Jones that goes to the floor. As the ball comes loose, there's a whistle that will stop play as Smith went down to the floor for it. And she'll be called for the foul. No, excuse me, it's a held ball. And the arrow is with West Virginia State. Ryan Davis comes in for Fairmont State. And she replaces Tate in the lineup. Coming up on 7 minutes to play in the third, Fairmont State leads West Virginia State 41-26. Young across midcourt, lobs it into the left elbow for Hickman with her back to Davis. She spins to her left, takes it in, draws two defenders out to Smith, out to the right wing. Brooks takes a three. She got it. Delaney Brooks scored 6 points in the second quarter. She's got 9 now for West Virginia State, and the deficit is 12. Up ahead it goes to Murray, right wing, driving with the left hand, steps in across Hickman, lays it up, won't go. Rebound tip, she tracks it down and runs into Brooks. Whistle and a foul called on Brooks. Murray came flying back into the play to try to grab the rebound, and they say was fouled in the process. Second foul on Brooks. Reap will throw it in baseline left. Bounced onto the block for Cook, back out to Reap in the corner. Guarded by Young to the top of the key for Jones. A shot fake, now she drives left of the lane on Smith. Fumbled the ball, and they say Smith reached in and fouled her and caused her to lose the basketball. Goins going back to the scorer's table for West Virginia State will check in. Replaces Smith, her first foul, team foul number 3. And Reap will throw it again, this time on the left. Out to Cook at the top of the key, gets a screen working right from Davis. Guarded still by Paris, back to Reap between the circles. She drives with the right hand, in on Goins, steps around her, scoops it off the glass, can't finish. Rebound Hickman, West Virginia State. Outlet left side, Goins with her eyes up the floor. Throws it ahead to Brooks in the left side corner. Back to Goins, who spins away from Murray, brings it to the top of the key on the dribble. Gives it right side for Young. She penetrates, draws two defenders. Back to Goins, straight away, quick trigger three, got it. Back-to-back threes for West Virginia State, makes it a 9-point game. 41-32 with 6 minutes to play in the third. Still plenty of time for the Yellowjackets to climb back into this one. Reap with a left-hand dribble across to Murray on the right side, sizing up the defender. Paris drives past her, takes it to the lane, missed the layup. Rebound, Paris comes out with it for West Virginia State. 4-on-3, she brings it ahead, bounces it left side to Goins. She'll take the 15-footer, it slides through the net for 2. 41-34, West Virginia State within 7. Fairmont State has led this game by as much as 15. Reap bouncing the ball, right wing for Cook, crosses over towards the baseline, driving on Goins, lays it up over the defender and scores. Goins gets it in quickly, kicks it ahead to Paris. She drives into the lane against Davis, has the shot blocked. Rebound Davis, gives it up to Reap, kicked ahead right side for Cook. Cook down onto the right wing, driving on Hickman, spins left, gives it to Davis at the free throw line, now to Murray left of the free throw circle. Back to the top of the key again for Reap, under 5 minutes to play in this third quarter. We'll get an immediate timeout at the next dead ball. Reap brings it Over to the right side, working to her left, gets a screen now from Davis, pulls it back out, pressured by Young with 8 on the shot clock. She drives now to the right, into the paint, spins left, draws a second defender, and forces up a shot that drops off the back of the rim. Young comes the other way for West Virginia State across midcourt, trailing by 11, 45-34. Gives it to Hickman now between the circles, defended by Davis. Crosses over to her right hand, bounces it to Brooks at the free throw line. Handoff goes back to Hickman. She steps in, throws a cross-court pass. Here's Young on a left corner three, and she knocks it down. 8-point game, 45-37. Hickman drew the second defender, knew somebody was open and found Young on the backside. Murray with it, right wing, driving with the left hand, lowers the shoulder against Paris, just got completely out of control, threw up a shot out of bounds that was partially blocked by Paris, and it will remain Fairmont State basketball after a timeout on the floor. 4:05 to play third quarter. West Virginia State's back within single digits. It's 45-37. Fairmont State ahead of the Yellowjackets. It's West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
4:05 to play third quarter. West Virginia State trying to fight its way back into this one against the Fairmont State Fighting Falcons. This is women's basketball action in the Mountain East Conference on 107.3 The Beat. Don't forget, we've got men's hoops coming up after this. Tentatively set for a 4 o'clock tip-off. It'll all come down to when the women's basketball game comes to an end, but we will bring you the Yellowjackets and the Fighting Falcons again in men's hoops after the conclusion of this one. It's Gabby Reap in the left side corner for Fairmont State, bringing it back to the top of the key on the dribble, down to 10 on the shot clock. Throwing to Mackenzie Swain on the right wing as she's checked back in. Puts down a dribble, gives it up to Halen Cook. Back to Ryan Davis in the high post. 2 on the shot clock. She drives, throws up an off-balance runner. Missed off the front of the rim, rebounded by Imani Hickman. Outlet to Bailey Goins, who brings it across midcourt. Driving right hand, takes it into the paint, hangs in the air with a teardrop shot that just rims out. Rebound loose, grabbed by Halen Cook for Fairmont State. Outletted to Reap, who pushes it ahead across midcourt. Reap driving the middle of the lane. Nobody picks her up. She stops 8 feet from the basket, gives it to Cook at the free throw line. Cook, guarded by Young, throws it out right wing for Tate to drive the baseline. She pulls up from 8 feet, missed it long. Rebound Letitia Paris for West Virginia State. Kicked ahead to Goins down the right side. Reap waits for her. She whips a one-handed pass. It's deflected. It's loose. Paris saved it back in bounds, but it falls to Swain, who gives it back to Reap. Reap across midcourt, right wing to Cook. Transition 3 on the way, off the front of the rim, but Hickman fouled her as she came down. And Cook's going to shoot 3 free throws, but she's also in some discomfort as she landed awkwardly. Hickman rotated over late, and Cook didn't have a whole lot of space to land, and she came down with her right foot right on top of Hickman's and twisted that ankle. Got a second look at it here in the arena, and her right foot landed right on top of Hickman's, and she twisted that ankle something fierce. Third foul called on Hickman here in this third quarter. 3:08 to play in the third frame between the Fighting Falcons and the Yellowjackets. Athletic training staff out to look at Cook, who again would be in line to get 3 free throws, but as it stands right now, don't envision her being able to stay in the game. West Virginia State trailed by 11 at the half, has been down as much as 15 in this third quarter. How about this for a stat? Despite allowing 17 Fairmont State offensive rebounds, West Virginia State has actually pulled ahead in the rebounding margin, 33-30. as Cook, back to her feet, is going to walk off under her own power, but is not going to be able to stay in the game. And it's her right ankle, and she is favoring it pretty heavily as she comes off the floor. Layla Jones is going to check in for West Virginia State. And Whitney Bays should be able to pick who goes to the line here for Fairmont. And it's going to be Jones coming off the bench. So 3 free throws for Layla Jones in place of Halen Cook. Jones, a 65% shooter at the line on the season. First on the way, that one rattles around and drops through. Jones, the leading scorer for Fairmont State in this game now with 13. She's 4 for 4 at the line, make it 4 for 5. Second shot on the way, that one's good as well. She pushes the lead back to double digits for Fairmont State, can run it back out to 11, which is what it was at halftime with this second shot, rather third. And she swished that one through. 3 for 3 at the line from Layla Jones. Pushes Fairmont State's lead back to double figures. It's 48-37. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Young kicks it up across midcourt, right side for Paris. Back to Brooks straight away. Around to Goins on the left wing. Hickman steps out to screen for her. Goins on the dribble, working to her left, takes it down into the corner. Picks up the dribble, throws it back to Brooks on the wing. Bounced out high for Paris, down to 10 on the shot clock. Paris knocked down by Reap as she tried to drive into the lane. And that's going to be the second foul on Gabby Reap. It'll reset the shot clock to 20 for West Virginia State. That's just team foul number 2 on Fairmont State here in the third. Goins inbounding from the top of the West Virginia State bench. Gives it to Brooks, left of the circle, has the ball knocked loose. It's down on the floor. Goins down after it, tied up with Swain. And West Virginia State has the arrow. 2 minutes, 43 seconds left to play third quarter. Fairmont State has pushed its lead back to what it was at halftime. It's an 11-point advantage, 48-37. Inbound comes between the circles to Young. Reap defends her. She throws it to Paris, right wing. Working left off a screen from Hickman. Turned away, gives it back to Hickman in the corner. Crosses over right hand, out to Brooks. She'll take a contested 3. It missed everything. Rebound on the backside by Jones, who gives it to Reap. She pushes it up the floor with 2.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Reap with a right-hand dribble, defended tightly by Young, bounces it onto the right wing. Now for Jones, guarded by Goins. She penetrates with the left hand into the lane, has her shot blocked by Hickman out of bounds. So it'll be West Virginia State make it Fairmont State basketball. On the baseline with Reap, 14 seconds on the shot clock, 2:15 to play in this third quarter. Reap throws it to a cutting Swain on the right side, who caught the pass standing on the baseline. Turnover back to West Virginia State. This is where you need to take advantage, but the Yellowjackets have not scored in more than 2 minutes. So it's Young picking up the pace a little bit to get this ball across midcourt. Reap waits for her there. She quickly throws a pass to Hickman at the left elbow, guarded by Davis. She fakes a pass, now tries to hand it off back to Young, and Jones reaching in is calling for the foul. She had Young by the arm as she tried to come get that ball. Foul called on Jones is her second. Zanai Murray back in for Fairmont State, replaces Mackenzie Swain. Goins will throw it in for the near sideline. 2 minutes, 2 seconds left here, third quarter. Lobs it to Hickman, right of the free throw circle. She fakes a handoff to Paris, now hands it off to Goins, who takes a deep 3. It's off the back of the rim. High rebound pulled in by Jones underneath the basket for Fairmont State. Outlet pass goes left side to Reap. She fires it across to the right for Tate. Down on the right wing, she penetrates with the left hand, throws it to Murray left side. She takes it into the lane, kicked out to Davis right side. Her 15-footer off the back of the rim, rebounded by Hickman. Her pass out, deflected out of bounds, and it went off Hickman. .137 to play, third quarter. Fairmont State basketball leading by 11, 48-37. Reap from the right side corner, throws it out high to Tate to set the play. She hands it off now to Reap with 17 on the shot clock. Down to 90 seconds left in this third quarter. Reap working over to the right now, bounces it back to Tate straight away, guarded by Brooks, handoff back to Reap. She drives with the left hand, brings it back behind the arc, hesitates, takes it in again on Brooks, hangs in the air with a runner, off the back of the rim, no rebound, deflected down to Paris for West Virginia State. She throws it out of traffic right side to Goins. A minute 10 left in this third quarter. She comes across midcourt. Goins freed up by a screen by Hickman, now drives with the left hand, takes it into the paint, tries to step through against the defender, spins back to her left, and Tate hit her across the arm. It'll be a foul on Fairmont State. It'll be West Virginia State basketball out of bounds. Jessica Osawana coming back in for West Virginia State is going to replace Amani Hickman. Fairmont State still without Halen Cook, who has not returned since that ankle injury, went up the tunnel with the athletic trainer, has not come back to the bench. Inbound left corner, Osawana to Young, who had the ball poked free. She got it back, drives down to the baseline, now picks up the dribble, trying to lob it inside for Osawana. The pass is stolen. It falls to Reap, who flipped a pass to Tate, and against some full court pressure, Stephanie Anderson is going to take a timeout. 51.5 seconds left in this third quarter. Fairmont State leads West Virginia State 48-37. This is Yellowjacket basketball on 107.3 The.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
28 times in this game, between the 28 turnovers and 18 offensive rebounds, Fairmont State has taken 21 more shots than West Virginia State. 58 field goal attempts for Fairmont to West Virginia State's 37. It's Fighting Falcon basketball out of the timeout with Gabby Reap bringing it across midcourt. She's double-teamed just inside the timeline, spins away from Delaney Brooks, throws a cross-court pass out of bounds back to West Virginia State. That's the 12th turnover by Fairmont State. Bailey Goins lobs it into Letitia Paris, who gives it up for Anjanae Young, and she will bring it up the floor for the Jackets. 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Pass goes into the high post now for Goins. She drives, draws a double team, throws it back to Brooks, right wing now for Genesee Bird. Bird jab steps left, drives right, throws a pass out to the left wing for Paris, but an offensive foul called on the pass as Bird knocked over Mackenzie Swain. We're headed the other way. 24 seconds left in the third quarter. That's the third foul called against Bird. And Reap will bring it up the floor for Fairmont State. Paris guarding her tightly to the left side. Her pass into the high post is deflected, stolen by Goins. 3-on-2, ahead comes West Virginia State, up to Young left side. Layup, she scores over Murray. 9-point game, clock running down to 7 seconds. Reap taking her time, getting the ball in bounds, bounces it to Murray. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, up ahead to Jones. She'll have her shot blocked out of the air by Goins, and that will take us to the fourth quarter with West Virginia State down by 9. 48-39 is the Fairmont State lead over the Yellowjackets. This is West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Headed to the fourth quarter between West Virginia State and Fairmont State. Mountain East Conference women's basketball action. It's a 9-point lead for Fairmont State, 48-39 with 10 minutes left on the clock. West Virginia State has overcome some pretty serious struggles, 29 turnovers, and has allowed 18 Fairmont State offensive rebounds, but they are within striking distance as we go to the fourth. Reminder, we've got men's basketball coming up after this. Have a 20-minute warm-up period following the conclusion of this game. Then we will be back on the air for West Virginia State and Fairmont State in men's hoops right here on your home for the Yellowjackets, 107.3 The Beat. It's Fairmont State basketball to start the fourth. Gabby Reap brings it across midcourt, throws it high post to Alana Tate. Left side, Zanaya Murray driving, gives it back to Tate, middle of the lane. Her shot blocked by Amani Hickman out of bounds. Fairmont State basketball, baseline right for Gabby Reap to throw the ball in with 21 on the shot clock. Reap looking for a teammate, gets it to Jones out of the right wing, guarded by Goins. Jab steps right, now gives it back to Reap to work it over again to the right side. Reap on a left-hand drive against Young, has her shot blocked. The rebound falls to Swain. She lays it up and can't score. It's rebounded by Hickman, who will bring it up on the dribble herself. She stops, throws a cross-court pass to Goins, who crosses midcourt on the dribble. Goins penetrating into the lane, back to Hickman, to Letitia Paris, top of the key. She drives around her defender. Nobody picks her up, and she lays it in with the left hand. Paris let Jones fly by, and nobody covered her as she went into the lane. 40 seconds off the clock. It's a 7-point game here in the fourth quarter. 48-41, West Virginia State trails. Reap reversed right side to Murray. Holds 5 fingers in the air to set the play. She attacks with a left-hand drive in against Paris. Wild shot won't go. Rebound deflected. Paris grabs it. She's fouled, knocked to the floor by Swain. And West Virginia State with the momentum has the basketball. 9 minutes left in this fourth quarter. The Yellowjackets down by 7, trailed by as much as 15 in the third quarter. Halen Cook, after going down with an ankle injury about midway through that third, has now returned to the bench. And we'll see if there's an opportunity for her to come back in. Now Murray pokes the ball loose, out of bounds, and they say last touch by Young. Physical pressure there from Murray, got a hand of the basketball. Young, the last to touch it before it went out of play. Murray lobs it to Reap, who's guarded tightly by Young. Works a right-hand dribble across midcourt, goes between her legs and swings it to Tate left side. Tate driving with the right hand, pitches it out for Swain. She takes it into the paint with the left hand and lays it in over Goins for 2. Brooks inbounds to Paris, right back to Brooks, right back to Paris. And she jogs over midcourt, bringing it down onto the left wing. And Swain got into her body. She's calling for the reach-in foul. Second against Fairmont State here in the fourth. 8:27, the clock stops with the third foul against Mackenzie Swain. The junior from Chesterfield, Virginia. Ajane Young to inbound for West Virginia State. Yellowjackets go into motion. She bounces it for Goins. High to the left side. Goins with a left-hand dribble, takes it down onto the wing. A shot fake as she picks up the dribble, gives it back to Young straight away. Young taps her head, calls for Hickman to come screen for her. She gets it, working to her left. Switched on to Tate, pitches it to Paris straight away. Paris penetrating right of the lane, stops out for Young, left side to Goins in the corner. One dribble down, fires a shot before the shot clock goes off. It's off the front of the rim, rebound deflected out of bounds by Hickman. And it'll be Fairmont State basketball. And with the stoppage, Halen Cook's going to come back into the game and replace Mackenzie Swain. West Virginia State will make a change as well. Genesee Bird coming in. They'll go small and bring Hickman out of the game. So Jones is the biggest player on the floor for either team. She's defended by Goins. Up across midcourt comes Reap to Cook. Cross-court pass Murray, left side. Into the paint for Tate. Fall-away jumper from 8 feet. Hits the back of the rim and drops in. Fairmont State goes back ahead by 11. 7:45 to play in the fourth. Bird up the left side, gets it to Goins across midcourt, who runs into Cook, keeps the dribble, drives with the left hand to Young at the top of the key. Her shot fake, sees her throw it back to Goins left side, fires away on a three. It's off the back of the rim, grabbed inside by Tate for Fairmont State. And she gets it back to Reap with 7.5 minutes to play. Reap up over midcourt, uses up the dribble, gives it to Tate right side. Tate working on Goins, penetrates into the lane, just forces her way to the rim and lays it in. And Whitney Bays is going to take a timeout with 7:16 to play and her team down by 13. 6 straight points from Fairmont State. Yellowjackets struggling to find offense here in the fourth. That'll take us to a timeout on the floor. 7:16 to play. It's Fairmont State 54, West Virginia State 41. It's Yellowjacket basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
.7:16 to play in the fourth. Fairmont State with a 6-0 run, trying to put away West Virginia State in Mountain East Conference women's basketball action. A 54-41 advantage for the Fighting Falcons. They have controlled this game since the start of the second quarter. A 15-0 run was really the big difference maker. This game was tied 11-11 after the first. Fairmont State went on a 15-0 run. West Virginia State has been within 15 the entire game, but has yet to get back closer than 7 since the Fighting Falcons extended that lead. We'll see what the final 7 minutes and 15 seconds hold here for West Virginia State. Ajane Young aggressively taking it across midcourt, drives into the lane, has her shot blocked by Ryan Davis. It's rebounded by Alana Tate for Fairmont. She gets it to the left side for Gabby Reap, who brings it up over midcourt. Whips a pass right side to Tate. She drives into the lane with the left hand, throws up a wild shot that missed off the backboard. It's rebounded by Delaney Brooks, who's held from behind by Ryan Davis, and West Virginia State will have the ball after the foul. That's the third team foul on Fairmont State. And now we've got a conversation between the officials, and we're good to go. .6:52 to play in the fourth. Looks like something may have come out of the crowd onto the floor that held us up for a moment. It is going to be West Virginia State ball, though. 6:50 to play in the fourth. Young across midcourt, working a right-hand dribble down onto the wing, hands it off to Paris. Paris brings it back top of the key to Brooks. Left side Goins, a shot fake on Reap. She splits 2 defenders, picks it up, a no-look pass inside for Young, and she scoops it in with the left hand. 6 minutes, 30 seconds left, fourth quarter. West Virginia State back within 11. Nice play on the inside there from Goins to get it in for Young. Now splitting 2 defenders the other way. Alana Tate takes it into the rim and lays it in. West Virginia State can't afford to trade buckets right now. Here's Goins on the attack. Thrown left side for Brooks. She steps around 1 defender. Off-balance shot, missed everything. Her pass back on the rebound, deflected out of play by Reap. Genesee Bird to the scorer's table for West Virginia State. Comes in for Brooks. Paris inbounds left corner to Hickman, who fakes a handoff and takes it uncontested to the rim and scores. Ran that little handoff play in the corner. Both defenders went with Paris. and Hickman had a wide open lane to the hoop. Horn gets the ball top of the key, left side for Reap. Jab steps on Bird. Back to Davis straight away. Nobody picks her up. She goes into the lane, steps through, and lays it in. 58-45, 5:40 to play in the fourth. Goins dances her way into the front court, spins away from one defender, picks it up down in the corner, needs to find a teammate, gets it to Bird on the left side. Bird with a left-hand drive, pulls up from 15, off back iron, long rebound to Murray. She takes it ahead 2-on-1. Murray down the left side, lobbing under the hoop for Davis. She lays it up. She's fouled by Bird. She'll shoot 2 free throws. Kenley Rogers comes in for West Virginia State to replace Bird. Hadley Horn out for Fairmont State as Layla Jones returns. Ryan Davis at the line to shoot 2. She's got 5 points today. First shot on the way for the freshman, missed off the right side of the rim. Just a 52% free throw shooter. She's split her 2 attempts so far today. Second one on the way. That's off the back of the rim. Rebound tracked down by Goins in the corner. She brings it up against Murray. Got a step on the defender. She takes it left of the lane. Spins down to the baseline working on Davis. Thrown back out to Rogers on the wing. Rogers penetrates, bounces it middle of the lane to Hickman. Shovels it off for Paris cutting in. She can't score it. The rebound loose, grabbed by Reap for Fairmont State. Here they come ahead 3-on-2. Nobody picks up Reap as she takes it down the middle of the lane. Her shot affected by Rogers. She couldn't lay it in. It's grabbed by Paris. Thrown ahead to Goins, who brings it across midcourt left side. Goins working in on Davis. Lobbed into the lane for Hickman. Pass deflected. Reap had it for a moment, then lost it out of bounds. And it will stay with West Virginia State with 4:51 to play in the fourth. 58-45 is the lead for Fairmont State here over the Yellowjackets. West Virginia State's been as close as 7 here in the fourth, but hasn't been able to get much closer. And now the inbounds pass is deflected and stolen. Lazy pass from Paris, knocked away by Tate, who is fouled from behind as she goes to the basket by Goins. And 2 free throws coming here for Fairmont State's Alana Tate to try to match the largest lead of the game so far for the Fighting Falcons. Third foul called on Goins. Tried to block that shot from behind, sent Alana Tate crashing out of bounds. Tate just a 50% free throw shooter on the season. The transfer from Frostburg State sends that one on its way, hits the back of the rim and falls off. Tate spent 2 years at Frostburg State, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists per game during her time with the Bobcats. Right around those numbers here in her first year at Fairmont State as well. Second shot drops through the net, makes it a 14-point game, 59-45 with 4:45 left in the fourth. Pressure taken off here by Fairmont State. Young brings it over midcourt, attacking with the left hand, throws it into the paint for Hickman. She steps to her left on one dribble and scoops it off the glass for 2. 12-point deficit, 59-47 with 4:30 left here in the fourth. Paris pressuring Reap as she brings it on the dribble across midcourt. Paris reaches in, nearly knocks the ball away. Now Reap dribbled it off of her foot into the backcourt. It's an over and back violation back to West Virginia State. Can that be the spark for the Yellowjackets down the stretch? 4:19 to play here in the fourth. That's the 14th Fairmont State turnover. Problem with that is West Virginia State has committed 31. Goins gets it into Rogers, a step inside midcourt. Working on Jones, gets a screen going to her right from Hickman. Now dribbled it off a foot, has to pick it up off the floor, has it deflected by Davis, and now Whitney Bays is going to take a timeout. Didn't like what she saw. Now with 4:10 to play here in the fourth, get a 30-second timeout for West Virginia State, so we'll stay here. Both teams struggling shooting the ball. West Virginia State under 40% at 19 of 48. Fairmont State under 30%, but they've taken 70 shots. West Virginia State has hit 19 of its 48 field goals. Fairmont State is 20 of 70, so they've just gotten a ton more chances than West Virginia State in this game. They've forced 31 turnovers and have pulled down 20 offensive rebounds. Just incredible to watch this Fairmont State generate opportunities for itself. You've got a lot of margin for error if you take 22 more shots than your opponent, and that's what they've done so far. But again, Fairmont State's cold shooting, plus a couple of runs for West Virginia State, has helped the Yellowjackets stay within striking distance most of the way. Fairmont State has never led by more than 15 points. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the fourth. Had an announcement go a little bit long over the public address. Now we're ready to play. Rogers from the near sideline throws it in for Goins out high, guarded by Davis. Working on a right-hand dribble, throws a cross-court one-handed pass to Young, who drives the baseline. Into Paris, steps in, has her shot blocked. Physical defense there from Jones to knock that one away. Thrown across midcourt for Tate, who picks up her dribble right at the three-point circle, gives it to Davis at the top of the key, and now back to Reap. 3:50 to play. Fairmont State leads by 12. Stephanie Anderson does not want her team to get into a hurry here. Reap gets a switch on to Hickman, brings it out left side, now to Tate between the circles, 7 on the shot clock. She picks up the dribble to Reap, guarded by Goins, penetrates, stops in the lane, 12-foot runner. Off the left side of the rim, it drops through. Tough shot from Reap, and she got a friendly roll, makes it a 14-point game. Back comes Goins, driving down to the baseline, shovel pass to Hickman, hacked as she goes up, she'll shoot 2. That'll put Hickman at the free throw line. 3:21 to go in the fourth. Third foul called against Layla Jones. Hickman back to the line where she's 2 for 4 today. She's got a double-double on her hands, 10 points, 11 rebounds, but she misses the first. Letitia Paris also with a double-double, 10 points, 14 boards. One of the best rebounding guards in the MEC. Second shot from Hickman drops through, makes it a 13-point game, 61-48. Now West Virginia State will pick up some 1-2-1-1 diamond pressure. Inbound comes right side to Murray. Her pass is stolen. Paris pulls it in, steps through in the lane, can't finish. Rebound as Reap pulls it in. She's pulled to the floor by Paris, and the foul will be called on West Virginia State. Second foul on Paris, team foul number 3. And it's going to be Fairmont State basketball out of the time after the foul, missed opportunity there for the Yellowjackets. Inbound pass thrown wide of Murray, out of bounds. So another chance here off of a turnover for West Virginia State. See if the Yellowjackets can create something here. Paris from the deep right corner throws it out high. Hickman pulls it out of the air. She brings it back between the circles on the dribble. Hands it off for Goins with 3:10 to play. Gets a switch on to Davis. Goins with a right-hand dribble. Takes it inside the three-point line. Picks up the bounce to Rogers, who fumbles the pass. She takes it in with the left hand and is bumped by Davis. A whistle and a foul on Fairmont State. Push foul called against Ryan Davis. That's her third. Team foul number 4. West Virginia State in the bonus on the next one. And Paris down to the baseline to throw it in. Looking into the lane, can't get it to anybody. Has to lob it for Rogers, high to the left side. She grabs it out of the air. 18 on the shot clock. A left-hand dribble, hand off to Goins. Picked up by Murray. Goins on a left-hand drive, gives it back to Young. Young straight away now to Paris. Jab steps, driving on Jones, gets around her. In on Davis, has the shot blocked. Rebound taken down by Reap. And Fairmont State still clinging to that 13-point lead. Will bring it into the front court with 2:35 to play. Reap between her legs, gives it up left of the circle for Tate. Driving in on Rogers, stops left of the lane, throws a cross-court pass to Murray into the corner. Here's Davis from 15 feet. Off the front of the rim, rebound Goins. West Virginia State's got to go with 2:20 to play. Goins quickly up the left side, takes it inside the three-point line. Lost the ball, got it back down in the corner. Whips it inside for Paris, cutting to the hoop, and she lays it in. Letitia Paris with 12 for West Virginia State. That leads the Yellowjackets. Inbound right side to Murray, back to Reap, who gets around Rogers. Reap doggedly brings it across midcourt and bounces it ahead to Tate in the left side corner. She puts down a dribble, takes a long 2, missed it long, rebound tipped, grabbed by Young for West Virginia State. Under 2 minutes to play, Jackets trail by 11. Guarded heavily by Murray. She spins away from her. Murray frustrated, wanted an offensive foul. It's still Yellow Jacket basketball. Young across midcourt with 1:40 left. Picks up the dribble. Murray reaching in, called for the foul. Hit Young across the arm, and West Virginia State's in the bonus. 2 shots coming here for Ajane Young. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for Young. Murray really aggressive trying to get that ball, and she's called for her first foul. Young shooting 2. And initially didn't have enough people lined up on the lane. Now we're ready to go. Young at the line where she shoots 73%, her first free throws of the day. First shot from the senior, sinks through the net. Trims the lead back down to 10, matches her with Paris for the team high. She's got 12 points. Can bring it back to 9 here with this second shot. Puts it up. That one rims out. Rebound underneath by Jones. 99 seconds to play. It goes back to Reap, who's double teamed. She pushes it ahead on a left-hand dribble, throws it over midcourt now for Tate, middle of the floor. Tate doubled, gets it back to Reap, and they'll settle things in the half court. Goins steps out to defend her with 1:25 to play. Goins reaching in, tried to knock it away, instead puts Reap on the floor. Foul called on West Virginia State. That was the last foul to give for the Yellow Jackets. It's the 4th on Goins. And Fairmont State will have the basketball out of bounds with 1:22 to go. Next foul for West Virginia State puts Fairmont State in the bonus. Jones throws it high post for Tate, reaching in. Rogers and Hickman both there. Quick whistle on the foul. That's going to put Jones at the free throw line. They'll call Rogers for the foul. So it's going to be a lot of Tate, rather, that was fouled on the play. And that's who you want at the line if you're West Virginia State, just a 50% free throw shooter. First on the way, hits the back of the rim and drops in. Lead to 11 now for Fairmont. Tate in double figures with 10 points and 6 rebounds. Her second on the way, she swished it. Pushes the advantage back to 12, 63-51. 1:20 left in the clock. Here comes Goins up over midcourt. Tate guarding her tightly, crosses over the left hand, goes back between her legs to the right. Throws it inside for Hickman, cutting down the lane. She lays it up with the right hand and scores. Got in behind Jones. Good cut into the lane there from Hickman. Left side, ball goes against the pressure to Tate. Back now for Reap. She throws it over the top for Davis underneath. Takes it into the lane on Hickman, has the shot blocked out of bounds. Davis maybe a little overzealous there, would have to imagine. Stephanie Anderson probably wanted her team to take some time there. Left side baseline, Reap to throw it in, bounces it to Tate in the corner, pressured tightly by Goins, who got her on the arm, and Goins is fouled out of the game. That'll put Alana Tate at the free throw line, send Goins to the bench. A little bit of a day to forget for Goins, at least scoring the basketball. She fouls out with 5 points. 2 for 8 from the field, did have 6 assists in the game. Delaney Brooks comes in to replace her for the final 54 seconds. Get a 10-point game. All Fairmont State has to do the rest of the way is make its free throws. First shot from Tate, gets that one to go. And again, this is a 50% free throw shooter at the line now that's made 3 in a row. Second on the way, gets that as well. Whitney Bays will take a timeout to advance the basketball. 54.3 seconds left here in the fourth. And Fairmont State staked to a 12-point advantage, looking to close out the sweep of West Virginia State and Mountain East Conference women's basketball action. A reminder, we've got men's basketball coming up again after this. We are going to be delayed in terms of the start time for that. Was set for 4 o'clock, but these Mountain East doubleheaders, of course, it depends on when the women's game comes to an end. We're still playing at 3:54. So we've got a 20-minute men's basketball warm-up before we can get those guys on the floor. Again, West Virginia State is shorthanded today. Blake Goodman will miss his 3rd consecutive game, and Emmerich Toussaint and Andrew Shull both are out again for the Yellow Jackets today, having recently aggravated existing injuries. First meeting between these two up at Fairmont State was a victory for the Fighting Falcons, 84-66. This one's been closer throughout, as Fairmont State has never led by more than 15 points, but West Virginia State has not been able to get closer than 7 here in the second half. 65-53 is the score. And again, if you're West Virginia State, the turnovers and the offensive rebounds for Fairmont State is what's going to be the things you want to look at on the film here, as Young is struggling to get the ball in bounds and she runs out of time. 5-second violation out of the timeout is going to give it back to Fairmont State. 54 seconds left in a 12-point game. West Virginia State's going to pick up man-to-man in the backcourt. Reap from the top of the Fairmont State bench looking to get it in, bounces it to Jones. Rogers reaching in, Brooks reaching in, whistle and a quick foul call. He's going to put Layla Jones at the free throw line. Third foul called on Delaney Brooks. And it's 2 shots now for Layla Jones. She leads all scorers with 15 points to go with 8 rebounds. Her first shot on the way, hits the back of the rim, bounces around, and she gets the roll. Makes it a 13-point game, 66-53. 52 seconds left in the clock. West Virginia State out of timeouts, cannot advance the ball. Second shot for Jones, hits the left side, and she gets the roll as well there. Brooks quickly inbounds to Rogers, bringing it up against Murray down the left side. Rogers pushes it ahead onto the wing, hands off to Young. Young back to the top of the key off a screen from Hickman. Takes it in right of the lane, picks up the dribble, bounces it to Brooks, down to 40 seconds to play. To Paris, top of the key, whips a pass right side to Young, drives down the baseline, pulls up. Here's a 15-footer. She got it. 32 seconds left, 67-55 is the Fairmont State advantage. And Stephanie Anderson's going to take a timeout to advance the ball. Doesn't want to deal with the West Virginia State press. Has 2 timeouts already. And she's going to use those to not worry about any turnovers in the backcourt. 32 seconds on the clock. 30-second timeout called. Again, West Virginia State going to need a little bit of a prayer here to try to make this work. Halen Cook came back in for a few seconds earlier in the fourth, had a few words with Stephanie Anderson, and has not returned after that third quarter ankle injury. She's up and moving around during the timeout, but again, 12-point game, even to make free throws, doesn't seem like they want to risk putting her back out there. And again, it looks like that ankle has stiffened up on her a bit. She's not moving around great here during the timeout. Reap throws it into the backcourt for Davis, handed back to Reap. Paris providing the pressure. Reap up across midcourt. West Virginia State trying to pressure the ball. Reap dances away from a couple defenders, gets it right side to Jones. Hickman reaches in and fouls her. And with 22 seconds left, it's going to put Fairmont State back on the line. Layla Jones is 8 for 9 at the free throw line in this game, and can hit double figures just from the charity stripe with this trip. First shot from the Akron transfer hits the back of the rim and caroms off. (67-55), second shot up. That one's good, makes it 68-55. Michaela Smith in for West Virginia State, quickly inbounds to Young. She brings it up the right side into the front court. Dribbles into a handoff with Paris, down to 15 seconds to play. Pressured by Davis, gets around her into the lane, crosses over left hand, picks up the basketball, gives it to Young with 9. Young to the free throw line, 15-footer, rims out. Rebound Jones, 5 seconds on the clock. Smith reaches in and fouls her. And Jones comes up holding her shoulder. Smith kind of wrapped her up as she went by. And Jones in a little discomfort after that. Mackenzie Swain's going to come in for Fairmont State. And somebody needs to come out of the game. It's going to be Murray, who has gone down over on the sideline. Looks like she might be dealing with a cramping situation. Shot on the way from Jones, misses off the left side. 3.5 seconds to play in a 13-point game. Result of this free throw isn't going to affect the result of the game, as Fairmont State's going to come out of here with its 11th conference win. Second shot up, that hits the nose of the rim and drops through. Hickman inbounds to Young. She will bring it up to midcourt, fire a shot at the buzzer that comes up empty, and it will take us through 40 minutes of basketball. Fairmont State wins over West Virginia State 69-55 in women's hoops action as they go to 11-3 in the Mountain East Conference. West Virginia State is 5-10. We'll be back to recap it after this on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do, at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
Fairmont State defeats West Virginia State 69-55, the final score as the Fighting Falcons knock off the Yellowjackets to sweep the season series. Take a look at the individual numbers. Layla Jones leads all scorers, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 13 points for Alana Tate, 12 for Gabby Reap, 9 for Halen Cook, 9 for Zanaya Murray, 5 for Ryan Davis, 2 for Mackenzie Swain for Fairmont State. West Virginia State led by Ajane Young's 14 points. Amani Hickman with a double-double, 13 points and 11 rebounds, 12 points, 14 rebounds for Letitia Paris, 9 for Delaney Brooks, 5 for Bailey Goins, 2 for Jessica Osolana. West Virginia State falls to 8-13 on the season, 5-10 in the Mountain East Conference. Fairmont State is 17-4 and 11-3 in the league. We've got men's basketball coming up next on 107.3 The Beat. West Virginia State and Fairmont State as the number 14 Fighting Falcons come into the Walker Convocation Center looking for another Mountain East Conference win. West Virginia State looking to snap a 7-game conference losing streak. We'll have that for you in just about 10 minutes' time. Tip-off scheduled officially for 4:20 this afternoon. West Virginia State short-handed in this one without Blake Goodman, Trey Harris, Andrew Shull, or Amarick Toussaint. 3 starters out for the Yellowjackets today, but that's why they play the games. The men's basketball action coming up again at 4:20. We're back on the air in just a few minutes with pregame coverage. This has been a presentation of West Virginia State women's basketball on 107.3 The Beat.